We are back, and now we're gonna talk about something more along the lines of history. I know so little of history of the Transformers, but from So Mungry, who is happily always talking about their history, I know at least a lot now. Whoa, no! Oh no, oh no! Wow, fail at the first, I don't know, a few seconds? Anyway, I know so little about Transformers history. I just know that, Shockwave is basically a great, smart scientist. Uh-oh, someone trying to commit suicide in my game. Yep, is he gonna continue?
You have to ride the turbines to reach the other side.
Sounds like fun.
Well, I don't know, but I can hope that he doesn't. Anyway, I know so little of history of Transformers, but I can at least remember off some off the back of my head. So let me pick the easiest. Optimus. Wow. Alright, I got an idea. Let's see. Whoa! I have an idea. Which I have to make this quick. Come on, come on. So basically, I know so little, but let's talk about Optimus. Optimus was originally not even Optimus. He was known as Orion Pax, a data clerk in, I guess you can say, a library. He was basically a librarian, and not one of those hot librarians, if you know what I mean. So basically, he was a librarian. Optimus met Megatron. He kind of saw him as a okay guy, but then Megatron beat the living snot out of him, and then he had to get reformatted in G1 into Optimus. And as you can see, the animation is fixed, which I'm glad. You can see them passing Energon back onto his stacks. And actually, if you didn't see, there was an Energon thing, like, this thing opened up and had Energon in it, a lot of it. Anyway, we are talking about Energon, and so let's continue.
The Decepticons are really giving it all they've got here, aren't they?
Optimus was originally a librarian. He knew a lot about the history of Cybertron, but he sort of looked up to Optimus in a way that made him say, hey, I want to help you. But when he talked to the High Council with Optimus, High Council didn't like Megatron, but they liked Optimus better. And which pissed Megatron off to the point where he got so mad that he wanted to start a war. Yeah, like, just because someone likes someone else better doesn't mean you need to start a war or something. Yeah, so yeah, Megatron started a war, and which ended up turning Orion into Optimus, and Optimus into Optimus Prime. So that's basically a little gist of his history, and as you see, in the Transformers War Cybertron game, you already know his history about how he becomes the leader. He basically tries to save Zeta Prime, but he's already dead. And then he says there are no more primes, but he still regrets his calling. That's saying he is the last prime. So now Optimus accepts that he's the prime, and he accepts that he has to take care of the Autobots from now on. And he's okay with that. But he never thought he would ever have to change his format. But that's okay. He's still Optimus Prime. Even though he is Optimus Prime, he still has more skill than anyone. I mean, no one can really take Optimus except for, like, Megatron. no one can take Megatron except for Optimus. It's kind of like a back and forth thing. I guess that's why they're leaders. I mean, Zeta hid behind a bubble. You know he can't take Optimus. I mean, or even Megatron. So, yeah. Optimus was once a librarian. He basically just decided to fight back. And now he's Optimus Prime. And that's when the rivalry of the Hidden War started. Let's talk about, since Megatron really doesn't have a hardcore backstory, let's talk about someone else that I can pick out of the back of my head.
Optimus, your path is clear. I'll move on and flank the Decepticons in the northern sector.
You have my thanks, old friend. Good hunting.
Let's talk about, how about Bumblebee? Nah. Well, but we talk about Optimus's history throughout everything, actually. Optimus is basically a very strong dude. He's probably the best of the best of the best of the best. And no one really can stand up to him except for Megatron and probably, I guess, Grimlock at that, maybe. And actually, I want to go into Grimlock and Optimus' relationship. In Fallout Cybertron, Grimlock is changed not from his old self, but to a new kind of personality. He's basically, he says, Grimlock's basically like, he's stronger than Optimus, he can lead the Autobots better than him. He's a more better, capable leader, but Optimus and Grimlock don't really see eye to eye, which is okay. And that's where they get into a relationship where they have to like try to find a common ground between each other in order to find a hopes to win the war. Come on! Optimus is probably the most strongest Autobot there is, and basically his size. He's the most knowledgeable. He has a great tone of voicing. Even Peter Cullen's voice is pretty cool. Optimus is probably like top Autobot. Even the other Primes could not probably stand up to Optimus, except probably in the movie series. But that was because Sentinel was Optimus's teacher, so the teacher utterly outpassed the student. So basically, Optimus is probably the most strongest, the most fastest, the most agile, most skilled. And I wouldn't say he's the most smartest, but I would say he has knowledge of, as we've seen in Transformers Prime, Icon relics. He knows the history of the Autobots. He knows there's actually hidden things that only a Prime can decipher. And only some things that only Primes can do, as in Prime, use the hammer of something to create almost anything from the bending reality. Basically, Prime is probably like, well, Primes in general are basically cool, but Prime, Optimus Prime, is probably the best Prime so far. In the movieverse, at least. Now, for other series, Prime can do a lot of other stuff. And Transformers Armada, he actually can combine with his trailer to make a Super Optimus. And Transformers Energon, he can connect to a Jetfire, I think, and make, you know, another kind of powerful Optimus. And Transformers Cybertron, again, he can sometimes connect to his trailer to make a more powerful Prime. But he can also connect to his friends to make Leo Breaker, or someone else I can't name on the back of my head. Basically, throughout the series, Prime has been able to combine with countless of his Autobot friends and just duke it out with anyone he sees. Prime basically can jump into any battle without fear, regret, or even emotion.
That's the main terminal for the communication grid.
And I will see you in the next part.
By aligning the data streams.